Hello all, this is Luke from Australian Survival School. We're out in the bush as usual. Today I have my oldest daughter, Sienna. Say hello.
Hello.
So we've come across a massive patch of grass trees out here. So I thought we might stop and do a little instructional video about the purpose and some of the uses that the Aborigines used to use. So basically this grass tree has many different uses. The flower spike has a couple uses. Sienna?
The Aboriginals of Australia used to use it for fires and spears.
Yes. So pretty much they used to use these flower spikes to start a friction fire or a hand drill. So basically they would choose down the base where it's quite often thicker. They'd choose a nice dry bit. Quite often the spikes from the flowers will fall down, so it will fall on the ground. They'd pick it up, snap it in the working area about a foot long, split it down the middle. They'd choose a nice straight bit, and that's what they would rub. So scientists found some that had fallen down, so you can see the thickness of it. So you'd split that straight down the middle. It has to be a little bit more drier, and pretty much they put their foot on it, they get another bit, and they just rub like crazy. You know, it can take about 5-10 minutes. If you're really good at it, have the right wood, you might start in a couple minutes. Aborigines also use this to make spears out of. Because as you can see, this would probably be a good 7 to 8 foot tall, extremely straight. They'd snap it off at the base, or they'd find ones on the ground. They'd use the end of the actual flower spike and they'd hollow the end out, and they'd put in hard wood like iron bark or something else, and they'd shove it in there. They'd sharpen up that bit of wood. They'd put resin around it and bind it up, and that gets onto another topic of resin. This tree, quite often when it's scarred or burned down around the base, will produce a gel. Now this gel is extremely hard when it's dried, acts like super glue. So they'd heat it up, they'd put it onto their spears where they'd bind the two bits of wood together, and it'd be solid. Quite often they use the ratio of mixtures of resin, charcoal and kangaroo scat. They'd use a ratio of 3 parts resin, 2 parts charcoal, 1 part kangaroo scat, and it would pretty much bind it right up, extremely solid and tight. If they ever broke the end of the spear tip, they would just replace the actual hard bit or sharpen it up again, and so forth. These spikes can also be used as what's classed as a third leg within the swagman era, where it makes a good walking stick. The only thing is you'd have to bind the end so it doesn't splinter, because it will crack all the way through. If you bind it up, she's fine. Extremely light, great little stick. Quite often when I find them on the ground, there's a few scattered around on the ground, I usually pick one up about my height and use it as a little walking stick and leave it in the bush for someone else to find. But great little plant. These leaves, as you can see here, when you pull the actual base of the leaf out, it will have a chewable end, a really white starchy end. You can actually chew that. Gives you a bit of minerals and vitamins and sugars. Go on to the most evasive technique that should only be done in the most dire circumstance, is actually going for the starch inside the actual tree. You have to pretty much break the tree right open, killing the tree, but you get the pulp, which is full of minerals and vitamins and sugars and carbohydrates. Great, in case of emergency, you're stuck out in 100 square kilometers of no man's land by yourself, fending for yourself. Great little source, but once again, only an emergency situation, because you will kill the tree. What else can we talk about? We'll talk about the resin, the flower spike, the actual leaves. It's a very hardy plant, grows out in pretty much arid conditions quite often, doesn't really need a lot of liquid. Find them quite often in houses these days as an ornamental plant. Great little thing, you know, great survivor food.
Yeah.
If you don't, you know, mistreat it and kill every single one of these you find by getting that pulp. Quite often you will get a few little termites coming after it, especially in the older trees that have pretty much rotted away and dying. You will get termite mounds in them that you could break open once again. Go for the larva of the termites. Tasty little treat. But yeah, that's our little grass tree. Hope you enjoy this little video.
You're right, Daddy.